So we'll go. Good morning, friends. So we'll go for Snt Tc 1A and Cp189 question 1 to 100. Which of the statement given below is incorrect? The training hours specified for bubble testing or more is more than training hours specified in the mass spectrometer leak detector. So Snt Tc 1 includes 16 entity methods now, and Cp189 12 methods. Don't see my video I uploaded. So just go as per that. They will change the questions. Which of the following statement true with respect to Snt Tc 1? And the document provide guidelines for the establishment of qualification and certification program. Is that done guideline? Snt Tc 1 at 2020 is currently not applicable for strain gauge measurement. Snt Tc 1A guideline are not appropriate for employer XYZ. Hence, employer XYZ shall review detailed recommendation presented in and shall modify them as necessary to meet particular needs. Outside agencies is a company who provides NDT level 3 service, an individual who provides NDT level 3 service. Which method is added first time in Snt Tc 1A 20C? We say 2020. Yes. That's why I write for in 2016 BA, then 2020 microwave. The basic level of qualification given by Snt Tc 1A are 3 levels 1, 2, 3. Which of the NDT levels should be qualified to set up and calibrate equipment and to interpret the evaluate results in with respect to applicable codes, standards, and specifications? Both level 2 and level 3. Level 1 cannot do all these things. Which of the following statement is false with respect to written practice? The written practice shall be submitted to client for acceptability. It is not required as such, but the customer requirement that time you are showing, but it is a false statement. It is your written practice. Still, because client is boss, sometimes they're showing, so they want to see, they want to say something, so just listen to that if possible. To be considered for the certification at level 3, candidates should satisfy which of the following criteria? 4 years of college, university with a degree in engineering or science plus 1 year experience. Is 4 years plus 2 years? No need. 3 experience, this, no. 5 years experience as an NDT level 2. There is nothing mentioned, so for this A is answer. Minimum number of questions in liquid penetrant testing at level 1 general specific are 40-20. The inspector is not doing ultrasonic testing for welds. However, he is responsible for UT thickness of plate. Who should assess whether he should qualified or certified? Inspector employer. So he is the final authority, final responsibility with him. A tech and technician is performing ultrasonic testing daily, 50% of time. They're all sometimes Snt Tc 1 is very lenient, so you have to understand from which it is coming. 50% of time in radiography daily, 25% of time. Remaining time he spends NDT coordination activities. At the end of 6 months, his accumulated experience method wishes with the same how much he 3 months with AOT and because 50% and 1/2 month with RT. You cannot increase it. The requirement of visual examination as follows. Jagger 2 at a distance not less than 12% administered annually. The following results were obtained as a result of examination: practical 90%, general 68%, specific theory 92%. What is the composite grade and has the candidate passed and failed? There is problem here, 68%. So in general, he gets 68%. If he gets 70%, he pass. Minimum is 70%. So how many different techniques are identified in leak testing? 4. We'll see the you can see this. So leak testing, bubble leak testing, pressure change testing, halogen diode testing, mass spectrometer leak testing. When carrying out practical examination of NDT level 2 and minimum number of samples to be tested is 2. You can comment as per Snt Tc 1A, Snt Tc Cp189. This is as per Cp189. If some questions, you can comment also. When carrying out practical examination at NDT level 2, how many checkpoints are necessary to confirm an understanding of NDT variables and the employer producer requirements, procedure requirements? At least 10. So that is written at least. So just follow it. Checkpoints, how he is doing the job. Means did he understand the procedure first? Then he is okay with the procedure, what he is doing. He can operate the machine very good. Cleanliness, okay. Is he checking for the validity of the instrument or the certification of the instrument? Means the any stamping is there, how he understand. All these things are there. A candidate for re-examination must wait a minimum of 30 days and receive suitable additional training by level 3 before examination for both. Outside training services must be in accordance with the employer written practice and the responsibility for employer. The final responsibility is always with employer. Color contrast differentiation should be conducted upon initial certification and then at 5 years interval. Visual testing, okay. Color contrast, no need. Visual testing 1 year annually. Which of the statement is false? Snt Tc1A allows NDT level 3 as company certified level 3 or Snt level with specific exam. This allows by Cp189. Cp189 Snt Tc1A doesn't require practical exam for level 3. Even Cp189 needs some practical if he is not completed before or he has no documented proof of procedure writing. A and C are false. How many levels of qualification are defined in Cp189? 6. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 3 limited training instructor. Who is responsible for the content of product technology of welding presented as part of training in NDT personnel? Level 3. The skills, training, knowledge, experience required for personnel to properly perform to a specific NDT level 1 is defined as qualification. A company requires NDT instructor. The person in mind has no academic credential. How many years of NDT experience as an NDT level 2 or equivalent must the individual have to attain? Because he have no qualification previously, so 10 years. If an individual has not performed the duties in method for which he is certified during any consecutive 12 months period, his certification shall be suspended. NDT level 3 personnel shall be recertified by the employer every 5 years, not by verifying the individual's AHNT level 3 is current in each method for which rectification is sought. Who is responsible for documentation of records of certification? NDT level 3. As documentation and records, employer cannot do. No? The final responsibility is with employer. So you can comment if this type of questions will come. The required training hours to go direct to level 2 in penitent inspection is 12. Snt Tc 1A 2020. An inspector is not doing liquid penetrant test, however, he is responsible for interpretation of it. Who would assess whether he should? Inspector's employer. So employer is the boss. But if customer will kick his us, then it is as per Snt Tc 1A. So that is not. It should be before contract. All contractual agreements employer has to follow. Because he is only inspecting, maybe somebody else is doing. So that is the maybe level 2 is doing just inspecting for the namesake. That is okay. Snt Tc 1A 2020 An employer has sent a written practice to you for review as percentage on an repentant customer. The written practice indicates weightage factor for general, specific, practical, zero point 0.3, zero point 0.3, and zero point 0.4. Will you accept? This type of questions, if arise, just comment is better. No, you cannot. But which contractual condition is not demanding too much as per Snt Tc 1A? Employer is boss. But if he has contractual problem afterwards, then I don't accept it. That is the final authority with level 3. Cp189 details the minimum requirement for the qualification certification of NDT personnel in how many methods? 12. Now changed. Which of the following is not necessary? They will change the question, so no, don't worry. Which of the following is not necessary to document as part of individual NDT records? Academic qualification. The vision test level certification record of previous experience is required. The employer representative who administers the level 3 examination shall possess a company level 3 certification. In the practical examination at level 2, the candidate shall demonstrate a proficiency in the applicable NDT method on a minimum of 2 samples. Really, even in Snt Tc 1 sample per technique. So they are not explaining minimum. You can CP2 is okay. 1 is okay for Snt Tc 1A. But CP189 no. CP189 2 minimum. Even you go for many techniques, you can do many. It is up to you. You can increase, you cannot decrease for CP189. The employer has deemed an individual conduct has been unethical and his certification is therefore revoked, not suspended, terminated, invalidated, nothing like that. Reinstatement of the suspended certification shall be determined by either A or B, may be correct depend upon the entity level to be reinstated. A person qualifying UT-PT simultaneously shall fulfill the work time requirement of sum of UT and PT. If an employer has more than one entity level 3 for a particular method, an employer shall designate for the method one individual as company entity level 3. Principal, he may not. Who approves company written procedure and qualification certification of entity personnel? Company's designated entity level 3. Maybe third party level 3 also. What happens to certificate of personnel retiring expiration? Which of the following statement true concerning the usage of Snt Tc 1A? Snt Tc 1A was last revised in 2020. Document is instead of guideline of employer to establish their own written practice for qualification and certification of their NDT personnel. Snt Tc 1A is not intended to be used as a strict specification. All of the above. Maybe employer deviate from guidelines given to Snt Tc 1A to meet the specific need. Yes, employer shall modify the guidelines to meet the needs since it is recognized that these guidelines may not be appropriate for certain employer circumstances or applications. Use of Snt Tc 1A is mandatory when it has been specified by the customer. To which the following NDT methods Snt Tc1 are currently applicable? So all of the above: thermography, vibration, visual. May a level 1 person who has been certified in accordance with Snt Tc1 in 1996 be permitted to evaluate and sign for final acceptance of NDT examination? Yes, the intent of Snt Tc1 is that the level 1 person may be performed the above function provided they are in accordance with the written procedure. The written procedure says this. Okay, he can do. If not, you have to slightly requalify him. Some examination, new examination, specific examination. Should personnel that operate optical fibroscope for visual examination be qualified and certified? Whether any NDT personnel should be qualified and certified depends solely upon the need of employer and need of the employer's customer or clients. According to Snt Tc 1 2020, which of the following statement is correct for a level 2? Both the above statement is true. Comment: if work time experience in UT only. A graduate in engineering shall undergo training for 40 hours work time experience for 9 months to qualify as a level 2 in UT. His high school graduate shall undergo training of 40 hours and have work time experience of 90 months to qualify. So if work time experience in UT only for these hours is okay. You have to comment, my dear, because sometimes comment is needed. In accordance with Snt Tc 1 2020, which of the following is true for a level 3 employer? True. The employer may be delete the specific examination if the candidate has a valid Snt level 3 certification in the method and documented evidence of experience exists. On the basis of demonstrated ability, achievement, experience, and education, employer may waive examination for level 3 individual. Snt Tc 1 says you write your written practice and you can modify the things. Thank you, gentlemen. I will continue 51 to 100 next